What's going on, Israel? My bad, Maranatha, man. I left out one of the scriptures. I told y'all to go to 27. 27 was cool, but that's not exactly where I wanted y'all to go. I wanted y'all to go to 23. Is it on there? Yeah, it's on. Yeah, all right, y'all. Yeah, Israel, Marana thought about that. I gotta clean that up, and we gotta fix this. But it says I wanted y'all to go to 23. Yeah, I wanted y'all to go to 23. Jeremiah 23 says, "Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pastor," says Yahuwah. "Therefore, thus says Yahuwah Alahiah of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people. You have scattered my flock and driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doing, says Yahuwah, and I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all the countries whither I have driven them, and I will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. And I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking with," says Yahuwah. He's talking about the awakening. When he says that, he said, I will bring them again to their folds. He's talking about back into our heritage, bring us back into the things that benefit and prosper us, bring us back into our folds. Then when he says, "And they shall be fruitful and increase," we're gonna become something that actually is going to be something worthy. We're going to be adequate. We're going to be legitimate, fruitful, necessary to be, or worthy of leadership, worthy of status of teaching. That's what he mean by becoming fruitful and increase. It's going to spread like a wildfire. Our knowledge that he's talking about that we're going to start having again, that's what's happening now. This is something that is fruitful, worth picking, worth checking out, worth eating. And it is multiplying. It's catching on like a wildfire. We waking up, our people waking up. Eddie Murphy put out a video. Serious, is super serious. Talking about Yah, that's the name of the video, with a big old Jewish star. Yeah, I know he had a Jewish star. I don't support the star. I don't support any symbols. But at the end of the day, he don't know no better. This is what he think that he's supposed to be doing. And he is rocking it hard. He's singing, he playing guitars and all that stuff, and he is not smiling or nothing. This is not the funny comedy guy. This is very serious. I had to keep on reminding myself, like, this is not Charlie Murphy. This is Eddie Murphy. Watching it again, wait a minute. That ain't Charlie Murphy. That's Eddie Murphy. I'm like, okay, there got to be some type of comedy reel going on to this. Nope, just serious song, and then it ended. From the smallest to the greatest of us, Most High promised that we're going to wake up, man. And that's exactly what's happening. All right, we down at 4. He says, I will set up shepherds over them. That's Moses is. Many Moseses. Many real shepherds. That's who he really is now. Which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed. Because back in the day, back during the slavery, us talking like this will get you killed. Back during the Martin Luther King days and Malcolm X days, talking like this will get you killed. And you'll be discouraged to be out here saying the things that we're saying. They would, like this right here, this is an uncontrolled platform now. They can't stop us from doing this. That's why we're not dismayed. That's why we're not discouraged. That's why we're not pussyfooting about it. We just bold. We're the children of Israel. You're the Edomites. Your day is coming, and our salvation is near. Blatantly, we don't care. Screw Sunday worship. Screw white Jesus. We don't care and we don't want it. That type of stuff you get you killed back in the days. He said, we at 5. He says, behold, the days come, says Yahuwah, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and the king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. In his days, Judah shall be saved. What? Judah shall be saved. So everybody's talking about being saved, but only Judah is the only people that's supposed to be being saved. The Bible just said that. By saying, no, I'm saved. Jesus loves me too. I love you. That is not what this book just said. And when they were talking about it in the New Testament, they were referring to the Old Testament because they didn't have the New Testament in the days of the New Testament. He said, if Israel shall dwell safely. Because the people in Africa don't dwell safely. We're supposed to be being saved. That means taken out of a bad situation and put into a better. And the people that's dwelling safely is the same people that's sitting in the spot that they're actually supposed to be in, but they're getting hell. He said, and this is his name, or his reputation, whereby he shall be called the king over righteousness. Because who goes into captivity shall go into captivity. Who leads into captivity shall go into captivity. Who kills with the sword must be killed with the sword. For all the stuff that they done to us, he gonna repay them double. Because a scale unbalanced to the Most High is an abomination. Therefore, behold, the days come, says Yahuwah, that they shall no more say, Yahuwah lives, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. We ain't at that point. We still talking about the splitting of the Red Sea. We still talking about what happened in Egypt and the plagues. He says, but Yahuwah lives, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country. USA, Judah, and from all countries whither I have driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. Go over to 17. He says, we're still at 23:17. He says, they say still unto them that despise me, Yahuwah has said, ye shall have peace. And they say unto everyone that walks after the imagination of his own heart, no evil shall come upon you. That's what the churches is trying to say. They're trying to say you're already saved. You're all good. And then when the things crack off, you're going to be raptured. That's a lie. For who has stood in the counsel of Yahuwah and has perceived and heard his word? Who has marked his word and heard it? None of these people have. Behold, a whirlwind of Yahuwah is going forth in fury, even a grievous whirlwind. It shall fall grievously upon the head of the wicked. The anger of Yahuwah shall not return until he have executed, until he have performed the thoughts of his heart. In the later days, you shall consider it perfectly. In the later days, you're going to be peeping at. You're going to actually be able to see. It's going to be obvious. All these tornadoes, all these hurricanes that's coming from coming from Western Africa, and they going straight on the transatlantic slave trade passage, hitting the same routes, which is the Middle Passage, and then going right up to the 13 colonies, and then going right off to the south. It's doing it all to the same people. To the same people. All these fires, they're burning up all these floods, all these hurricanes are tearing up all these beach houses. Those beach houses, let me remind y'all who don't know nothing about beach living, them rich folk that live on the beach. And all them people that's up in them mountains in California. I'm from California. I drive through there all the time in them mountains. Them rich folks, buildings. Them rich folks, homes. They're white. They the Edomites. They the descendants and the inheritors of the Egyptian bank account. Slavery. We have 21. He says, I have not sent these prophets, yet they ran. I have not spoken to them, yet they prophesied. The Most High ain't dealing with none of these other nationalities. Everybody that's sitting there trying to say that thus says the Lord, or I had a dream, I saw Jesus when I was half dead. The Most High said, I ain't doing none of that. That is not me. I don't talk to none of these folks. When I was done dealing with Israel, I wasn't talking to anybody. I was done. He doesn't deal with anybody else. It ain't about anybody else. He has an unfinished job. He says, but if they had stood in my counsel and had caused my people to hear my words, then they should have turned them from their evil way and from the evil of their doings. So if Most High says, if you heard the Most High, anybody that said that they heard the Most High, they had a dream by the Most High, they had a revelation by the Most High, and if it's not talking about the healing of the negro and pointing out their problem and the actual foundation of their trouble and how to get out of it, you ain't talking to the Most High, man. The Most High ain't got nothing else to say but that. He said, am I the Most High at hand, says Yahuwah, and not the Most High afar off? That's not true. He is not the Most High at hand. He is the Most High afar off. Can any hide himself in secret places that I shall not see him, says Yahuwah? Do not I fill heaven and earth? You can't just bottle up the Most High. He's everywhere. You can't sit there and say he came only to me when his word is everywhere already. You don't need to come to your little measly butt. You ain't nobody. I don't care who you think you is. Especially if you want to assimilate with the enemy. He says at 25, he said, I have heard what the prophet said. They prophesied lies in my name. They prophesied lies in my reputation. They prophesied about being raptured by staying in a state of lawlessness and by using my reputation, saying, I have dreamed. I have dreamed. MLK, Martin Luther King, I had a dream that everybody's supposed to be all living in harmony together, living side by side in America. That nigga done lost his marbles. He lost his mind when he said that. The Most High is like, I don't deal with you like that. I don't talk like that. I'm not going to give you dreams. He said, I done filled up the whole world. My words is everywhere. I don't need to tell you nothing. I don't need to show you a dream. That's separate from this book too. Nigga, you tripping. How long shall this be in the hearts of the prophets that prophesied lies? How long is y'all going to be sitting around here thinking that you need to be living side by side? Laws are done away with. It's all about love. God loves everybody. Everybody's made of all one blood. That's all BS, man. He said, which think to cause my people to forget my name in their dreams, which they tell every man to his neighbor, as their fathers have forgotten my name for Baal. They ought to even know that his name is Yahuwah. Y'all calling him the Lord. Y'all calling him Jesus. That's Zeus. You're using a word that could only be 500 years old. That the prophet that has a dream, let him tell a dream. And he that has my word, let him speak my word faithfully. So let the dream still stay a dream. Let the dreamer be a dreamer. He's just living a dream. That's all he's going to ever be able to talk about is a dream. Only way that you can believe a dream is by being what? Sleep. He said, what is the chaff to the wheat, says Yahuwah? Is not my word like as a fire, says Yahuwah, and like a hammer that breaks the rock in pieces? Therefore, behold, I am against the prophets, says Yahuwah, that steal my word, every one from his neighbor. So when the Most High says, are you going to keep on stealing? Are you going to keep on lying? Are you going to keep on committing adultery? Then you're going to stand in front of me in this house that's called by my name and then say that you is all good? He just said you've been stealing his word from the people. By you sitting there telling black folks that the laws are done away, you can tell white folks that and keep it real, he never told them any laws in the first place. So they actually are worshiping their white Zeus god. You can tell a Chinese man the laws are done away with, and he'd be worshiping his Chinese god in all actuality. But when you tell a black man that the laws are done away with, you're stealing the words of the Most High from him, because they were sent to him. They were addressed to him. The law, statutes, and commandments was addressed to specifically him. That's how you're a thief. You didn't think that you were a thief, you're a thief. He says, behold, I am against the prophets, says Yahuwah, that use their tongues and say, he says. Behold, I am against them that prophesy false dreams, says Yahuwah, and do tell them and cause my people to err by their lies and by their lightness. Yet I sent them not, nor commanded them. Therefore they shall not profit this people at all, says Yahuwah. The pastors, that guy Ariah, he helped out a little bit when he started telling everybody, giving everybody the legitimacy to go be boinking on all kinds of other nationalities, Mexicans and Puerto Ricans. You got the game twisted. You got holy seed. You're mixing your seed with mud. You're not supposed to be doing it. They're already mutts. You're not supposed to be mixing your seed with mud. If you're still like black, brown toned, man, you're the last of a dying breed. And then here you is trying to mingle it. If everybody did that, there ain't gonna be no more black anymore. It'll be like some type of strange, everybody be running around looking like The Rock. Just some strange, you don't even know what he is.
Yeah.
Like, he could be black, but he could be straight white. You can't tell.
Or it could be Mexican.
Could be Mexican. You just don't know. He could be Jewish. Could be Hawaiian. He could be Armenian. The Most High did not make that. I'm not saying he didn't make rock. I'm saying the Most High didn't make a race to look like that. If he made a race that looked like that, that race must stay looking like that. And a race that doesn't look like that must stay not looking like that. Other than that, you don't like the Most High's works. You don't like what he did. You don't think that what he did was actually legitimate and that it had a purpose and that he just does things sporadically. We don't have a sporadic God. We have a perfect God. You heard me? We don't have a sporadic God. We have a perfect God. And he says at 33, and when this people or the prophet or the priest shall ask thee, saying, what is the burden of Yahuwah? Thou shalt say unto them, what burden? I will forsake you, says Yahuwah. And as for the prophet and the priest and the people that shall say, the burden of Yahuwah, I will even punish that man and his house. And when he's talking about that burden, he's talking about how you guys talk about the law, statutes, and commandments as a burden. You guys make the law, statutes, and commandments seem like they were something grievous, something that was too high of a stakes for us to actually accomplish. So you turn his laws, which is supposed to teach you how to love. Since that's all you want to be about, well, he's teaching you how to be about that, but you don't want that. So instead, you actually want to look at it as a burden and say, we don't need none of it. I'll just go off of my own heart.
Yeah, teaching us as kids.
Teaching us that stuff as innocent children.
As a kid, we didn't know nothing but to be perfect.
You didn't know nothing but to be perfect. You were completely obedient.
Didn't want to steal, didn't want to do nothing.
Didn't want to cuss.
Yeah. So when we read the Bible, we was cool with it. And then you said we can do certain things and pray for them.
Start telling me that I ain't perfect. Start telling me that I can't keep up with this book.
Yep.
Start teaching me that I can't keep up with that book. So just throw it all out. And just think onto the parts at the end where it starts talking about love and fluff stuff. When it's actually talking about a broken people that's in a broken state and how they need to change the way that they're thinking and their mentality because they're lacking this thing, which is love for each other. And the only people that actually applies to is the Negro. Everybody else is actually known for working together. It's called white supremacy with the white folk. It's called La Raza with the Mexican. It's called family honor with the Asians. But then when you get to the Negro, we don't got nothing, man. We ain't got nothing but gang banging. That's the most love that we got. We don't know any other love but to love another set of killers. That's set out to go kill his own brother. He needs to be taught the the New Testament. That guy needs it. But you living up in your nice ass house, driving in your nice cars with your fat bank account, and then when things go rough for you, all your family's chipping in tens of thousands of dollars so you can buy your home, or so you can fix this project, or you can save that business. He ain't talking to you, man. It has nothing to do with you. He says, "For ye have perverted." We at 36. We'll start at 36 again. He said, "And the burden of Yahuwah shall ye mention no more. For every man's word shall be his burden. For ye have perverted the words which is the law, statutes, and commandments, and the truth of the living Most High, of Yahuwah, of hosts, our power. Thus shalt thou say to the prophet, what has Yahuwah answered thee? And what has Yahuwah spoken? But says ye, but since you say the burden of Yahuwah, therefore thus says Yahuwah, because you say this word, the burden of Yahuwah, and I have sent unto you, saying, you shall not say the burden of Yahuwah. You ain't supposed to be saying that. His laws is grievous. They're hard. They're impossible. It's not something that can actually be done. You're not supposed to say that. He says, therefore, behold, even I, will utterly forget you, and I will forsake you and the city that I gave you and your fathers, and cast you out of my presence. And I will bring an everlasting reproach upon you, and a perpetual shame which shall not be forgotten. The pastors is the main problem. The pastors is the poison. The pastors, the leaders that's been leading us all the way up into the point of the last days, based off of the scriptures we just read, it's been the main cause of our problem and our condition, our wretched condition. I finish it up with Daniel 12 and 8. Daniel 12 and 8. And I heard, but I understood not. Then said I, O my Allahiah, what shall be the end of these things? And he said, go your way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed to the time of the end. Many shall be purified and made white and tried. So he's going to get some good out of all of this. There's going to be some dope dudes rising up out of all this mess that he's going to be causing on us. But then he says, but the wicked shall do wicked. They ain't going to never change. And none of the wicked shall understand. But the wise shall understand. And on that note, I say Maranatha, which means our King comes. And I pray for Shalom. That's peace.
Daniel, everything. Daniel was like, I heard, but I understood not. So what should I do, Lord? Man, just go away. You don't understand. It's not for you to understand.
Yeah, it's not for you.
So we go.
That's crazy, yeah.
Just go.
Just go your way, man. And don't worry about it. You know what I mean? That's basically what he said. Like, man, don't worry about it.
He got mad. You can tell he just got irritated. Like
it's really none of your business. Man.
Just go.
Like, we're not dealing with you yet. Like, you fight exactly. You're gonna fight on the last days. Don't worry, you will raise back up too. Like, ain't nobody forgot you. Now I hope it's on there. But I'm pretty sure it is, because this program is actually supposed to be linked with YouTube. That's why I was able to look at my live stream. I mean, look at the comments on the side.
Oh, people were commenting?
Can you see? Well, it's just Key.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the only one that was on.
Did it show me that I was on?
No, he's the only one that was commenting on the comment board.
Oh, that him and his coworker.
Yeah, you see, I was doing it like that. I was preaching.
Oh, that's what's playing as you're talking.
Yeah, and I'm right there in the corner.
Oh, that's tight.
Yeah, that's dope. That was the whole slideshow, man. He was giving.
And I made it go good with the stuff I was saying.
Yeah, man.
And the music in the background.
Yeah, that was tight.
Hey, we wouldn't be able to see your mouse though. Remember when you said, he goes,
yeah,
hey,
can you see my mouse?
Can you see my mouse? When you was pointing on this picture?
Yeah, you said, I heard you say no. I was like, well, hey, it was a white guy. It was the white guys.
Well, I understand everything that you said, though. And I saw the picture. I understood what you were talking about. That white guy right there.
Yeah.
Like, I know there wasn't a mouse right there, but I knew you were talking about this dude right here. Overseeing all these black people right here.
Yeah. In a wretched condition.
That's deep.
That's deep,
Yeah.
Hey, I can do these videos fast now, too.
I'm trying to tell you, man. I was like,
Let's go see what's up, Adrian.
I was like, really not feeling. I'm feeling so bad. I had to go to the hospital. Go to the hospital, right? I'm sitting in the hospital. I'm sick. Look at realizing what's Friday. Hey, check it out.
Oh, yeah.
Step out the door.
I woke up sick, right? I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm sweating. Then very cold. Then sweating and very cold. And then, so I went to the hospital. Go to the hospital. I'm talking about the whole day go by. I didn't even know. Start talking about, I don't know. Oh, me and Becca, I was talking to Becca about these dudes I ran into yesterday. In the mall, some Mexican dude, looks like some Jewish dude in the mall, trying to tell me there's another God in the Bible. He said, you know there's 2 gods in the Bible? He's like, right here, Genesis says that God said that let us make man in our image. I said, you know what? I said, stop right there. I said, you sound stupid. It's a motherfucker. Because don't you know there's angels? Right?
Well, you know who that us is, right?
Huh?
That us is Yahweh.
Yeah, but that's what I told him. That was Yahweh. But I was like, no matter what you're saying, no matter what, that you cannot say that because there was angels in everything. I said, what about who you call Jesus Christ? That's who he was talking to.
Yeah, you told him that?
Yeah.
Then what
I
he say?
told him. He's like, he didn't say nothing. He's done. He was
Yeah,
done.
he's classic.
So yeah, this is what. Then he gonna say, all right. What you say? You want to be disappointed? And he's like, oh, I agree. And he's like, you know what? I agree with you. You know what I'm saying? Because I start flipping out and I start going off. You know, because I have to hit him up. I said he can't be doing. I said he can't be out here preaching and stuff. He can't be doing this. I said especially coming up. The first thing you tell me, your message today was there's another God.
Yeah, blasphemy.
Yeah, I said when I shut that down, now you're going to tell me that you're agreeing out of nowhere. So he automatically somehow said you is like.
Yeah, for real with his wife.
Yeah, and then he gonna say, yeah, because he just comes up to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I squash him and he runs off, so I catch up to him. You know what I'm saying? But like at first, like I was gonna give me some shoes. You know what I'm saying? I got me some shoes. But I was like, I see the shoes. Man, I went to go get them. And I was like, man, you know what? I was like, man, you can't be doing that. And then he gonna try to go and tell me the new covenant. Well, I believe everything you're saying, but I don't agree with the new covenant. The new covenant is keeping the Passover. And I was like, I keep the Passover. He's like, no. The new covenant is breaking bread and drinking wine. And then he shows me the scripture, you know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying? But I broke the scripture down to him. And I was like, man, he's saying his flesh and how he walked. His flesh and blood, how he was in flesh and blood, that's how you're supposed to be.
Yeah, and
that's what he's saying. Be perfect.
Now, that new covenant, he didn't say. He's going to give them a different covenant.
No, the new covenant was to be perfect.
He said, I'm going to give them a new covenant. That means like a new car.
Yeah. Exactly.
You got an old one, and give you a new one.
The new covenant was him dying for our sins.
Cadillac, well, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna buy you a new one.
He died for our sins. That's the new covenant. We don't have to use
the covenant. Still a covenant.
Yeah, exactly.
The old covenant. We said they broke the old covenant. Yep. But once they broke it, they were no longer under it. It's like it was no longer legit. Yeah, so he says, I'm gonna send you through slavery. I'm gonna send you under oppression by your enemies for a brick too. He said, and then when I'm all done with that, and I feel like I'm done and ready, he said, I'm gonna give you a new covenant. Or if you look at my book, he actually said, I'm gonna renew the covenant. I'm gonna give you a new covenant. He said, I'm gonna renew the covenant. And if you just read it, he just said, because he actually said the same shit.
Oh yeah, well anyways, I was feeling real bad. Then actually I was like, oh, today's the Shabbat. Yeah, I was ready to just leave, take the IV out and leave. I felt good and everything. I was like, I'm feeling good.
I'm like, Edgar told me like,
I was like, he's in the hospital. I was like, on the Sabbath.
Yeah. I don't know how Adrian knew. My phone did. I ain't talked to Adrian.
I was calling you, man.
Becca probably told me.
I was calling you.
Yeah, phone's been dead all day.
I was like, damn, man.
The charges at the hospitals don't charge my phone.
No.
Phone stayed on 0%. I left the phone on charge for like 2 hours. Came back and I'm about to be on 50. Oh, happy like to my phone on. Dead. It said 0%, so you can charge more.
Damn.
0% for 2 hours? Okay, alright, these don't work. Don't shit out of luck.
Damn, 2 hours.
Yeah. Good. Hospital.
Hospital all day.
All day. I didn't even know the whole day went by. So long. Someone went out early. Went when the kids early in the morning. When the kids went to school. 8 o'clock in the morning.
But I kicked ass on there. I finished it up.
Yeah, that was a good finish up. I know, you're doing this wrong.
Spider-Man heard the whole one. I was going off. I went off about four or 5 times, huh?
No.
Sometimes I gotta go off. I feel like going off a lot. Like, no, man. I be imagining talking to that cherry bitch and shit.
Yeah, that's how I got them dudes. You know what? That's just crazy. How I was tripping on them dudes. Like, I'm telling you, I was tripping on them dudes. I'm yelling at these dudes. Like, no, because they keep trying to come. No, man, just shut up, man. Just shut up, man. Be quiet. The other dude, that Jew dude, you tell he's a Jew. He looked like a Jew. He looked like a fat Jew, Jew dude, got the little curly hair and everything. Got the dark curly hair, and he got the face of a Jew.
Yeah.
He's not saying nothing. He's just standing there. And I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm on this thing. I'm like, man, no, man, you look down. I'm on it. And he's like, no, man, no. He's like, man, why you always yelling at me? Why you telling me shut up and motherfucker and all this? He's like, why your mouth like that? I said, because it's time to be like this because how you're talking. And you keep cutting me off. And the stuff that you're saying is bullshit. That's why I said bullshit.
Yeah. You're saying nothing but a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah. I was like, man, you can't come out here talking that bullshit to people. You really got people stopping listening to you. Somebody stopped and was listening to him. That's why I have to, man, I'm telling you.
Yeah, you're actually poisoning my people.
No, man, let's get this.
He's poisoning our people.
They want you to obey.